What is going on, Zanies? Welcome back to another episode of Emergency Response to Liberty County. For those of you joining me on this journey to make $1 million in nothing but robberies, thank you for coming back. And as I promised you guys, this series is not going to be published on some of my regular days, which is why most of you will be watching this on a random Wednesday. But anyway, you guys, as you guys may have noticed by now, this is not your traditional video where I'm doing the gameplay and kind of doing a voiceover at the same time. What ended up happening here is I ended up just getting into the gameplay because this is going to take some time, okay? This isn't going to be an overnight thing, so I didn't want to sit there and just start kind of narrating and going over everything I'm doing. Like, what am I going to say? Oh, here I am robbing the bank again, or here I am back at the jewelry store or ATM. Like, that kind of thing is going to get repetitive over and over and over again. Instead of all that, I thought, why not just sit here and kind of talk you guys through the gameplay, talk you through what maybe I'm thinking to hopefully help some of you that are maybe thinking about doing the exact same thing. If you were here for part one, you may have already heard me say this, but I know I'm not going to be the first person to hit $1 million in ERLC. In fact, I hit like $3 million or $2 million or something like that whenever I went to the ATM and went on that big massive shopping spree shortly after I made my comeback to YouTube. So I know there's nothing special about having $1 million in ERLC, but what I will say is that I guarantee you there's not as many people out there doing it with nothing but loot. So that's the objective here, you guys. As you guys can see, I think I started in the low or maybe high 100,000s. But anyway, let me talk you through some of the gameplay here. I think this is my second time. No, maybe my first. My first time stopping by the jewelry store, but I think it's my second or third case. Something that I did end up cutting out of all of the videos that you guys are going to see is the amount of times that I look at the player list in the server. I can't emphasize this enough, you guys. You want to keep an eye on that player list. The minute you see a lot of players switch over to the law enforcement team, that is probably the minute you want to get out of that server. Maybe go into your cooldown period, go hide somewhere, and just be happy with the amount of money you got away with, or jump into a different server. Here I am hitting the house, and I think I was lucky during this run. I think, if I remember correctly, every single house that I hit was a cash house. No, wait, I think I'm remembering that wrong. I think all of them but one were a cash house. Which, if you guys know me, I love cash houses. Like, it's so easy. You're basically going in here, and in case you don't know, you are looking for 5 stacks and 5 stacks only. Moving on to the ATM here. ATMs are really easy for me, but for whatever reason, you guys, when I was playing during this haul, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I ended up failing the ATM like 3 or 4 times. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. I shouldn't be admitting this during a robbery spree to make me kind of look like a bad, but hey, that's the honest truth. I really was lacking on the ATM that day. Back at the bank here, this is one of the few days that I got really lucky at the bank. I think I was able to hit the bank 3 or 4 times total during this run, which is a lot. Normally, if I get 2 runs at the bank, I consider myself lucky and I end up being really happy. But this server just kept on giving and giving and giving, and I don't know if the other players weren't paying attention to the time, or maybe they just weren't even thinking about it. I don't know what the deal was, but I just kept on hitting the bank over and over and over again. Something that I've been trying at the bank that I think you'll see here is I've been trying to go after more and more stacks every single time that I hit the bank, and I've also been mindful to have as much health as I possibly can. In fact, something that I also ended up editing out of the video is during one of my breaks, I went to the hospital and just laid in the bed and got healed up before going back to the bank. So there's another tip for you. If you're gonna rob the bank, be mindful of your health. And I think I'm pushing it here, but I think I ended up getting away. Yeah, here we go. Getting out of here. And I don't remember if I completely got away. I'm pretty sure I did. If not, I probably wouldn't be showing this, to be honest with you. Yeah, there we go. I got away with it. Moving on over to the next home invasion. Another little tip for you here is that all of these robberies are done on the medium difficulty. I didn't go for the hardest on any of them. You already heard me say this, but I go after consistency, you guys. I don't go after the most. I don't go after the least, because the least, unfortunately, is just too easy in ERLC. And if you're still stuck on the easy, I really encourage you to try to level up to the medium. Trust me, it's not as hard as it sounds. Back at the jewelry store, and here I'm kind of just speeding through the cases. I think I let them all get down to about 10 seconds before I switch on over to the next case. And yeah, here we go. This is case 3 for me, I believe. Counting down, and now moving on over to the ATM. Yeah, you guys, so the reason why I keep saying this particular run is because if you jump back and watch some of my previous videos, you'll see that the amount I'm walking around with right now is about 500,000, maybe 600,000 by the time you see this. I've been doing this, you guys. Like, I have been hustling every single day. And mind you, it's actually not a lot of time as one might think. I've been devoting maybe 30-35 minutes almost every day, really late at night, or whenever I have time, just to kind of grind away at this. And by the way, this is a good time to tell you guys that there is a strategy to this. It might not always be obvious during these videos, but I always start with either a house or an ATM because those have the biggest cooldown periods. And as you guys can see, I always end with the jewelry store because technically I can keep hitting the jewelry store over and over and over again until I've exhausted my tools. And even at that, once I go back to pick up new tools, I can go back to the jewelry store and keep on hitting that over and over and over again. So normally the path I like to follow is ATM, house, jewelry store, and if I know I'm gonna do the bank, I always start with the bank. So really the real pattern here is bank, ATM, house, jewelry store, and by the time you're done with all of that, you should have enough time on your hands to go back to the tool store, pick up some additional tools, and be able to reset either at the bank or a house or ATM, whichever one you started out with. Trust me, you guys, I have timed this. I know it's sort of pathetic of me to admit that, but listen, I am trying to hustle my way to $1 million, okay? So I've left no stone unturned. I have this down to a T, you guys. So there's another tip for you. If you're interested in doing this, start with the biggest, work all your way to the smallest, and if for whatever reason you still have buffer room in the middle, just keep on hitting the jewelry store. And here's that house that I was talking about. I did remember correctly. This is a house with a safe. And it's always daunting when I miss that first number. Once I miss that first number on that first go, I start to think to myself, Zany, there is absolutely no way you're gonna get this, but thankfully, I ended up getting this one. And here's another tip for you guys. In case you're wondering why I keep getting a kicker after every single robbery, pay attention to that left-hand corner. The reason why I keep getting that kicker is because I am part of the group in Roblox. In case you don't know, you do get a kicker, meaning an extra percentage of the amount of money you rob just for being part of the group. So if you didn't know that or you had no clue that existed, go join the group right now, you guys. You are going to get a little bit of extra cash on every single robbery. And this is not just for robberies, you guys. This is also for your regular paycheck. You're also going to get a small kicker just for being part of the group. So if you're struggling to make money, there's a nice little tidbit for you as well. And as the video is slowly coming to an end, I think I hit the house this last time here. And if I remember correctly, I go back to the bank one more time, is it? I really don't remember, so I'm watching this with you for the first time as well. All I've done is edit this video, and no, it's not the bank. It looks like an ATM, but simply based on time and simply based on the amount of money I have, as you guys can see, I have 349,219. Strictly based on that, I know I am very close to going into my cooldown period. And oh, look at that. I wasn't completely wrong. I did hit the bank one more time. So after hitting this bank, I know for a fact I go into my cooldown period, you guys. At this point, this is more than enough money. This is a very, very healthy run. All of this takes me the better part of 40-45 minutes in real life. And normally I break these down into 2 different gaming sessions. So one quick 20-minute session, and that normally includes my cooldown period, and then another 20-minute session with yet another cooldown period. It's very important that you let yourself cool down, because if not, you won't keep the money. I finished up with these stacks here, and I hope you guys just saw that a few seconds ago when I got my paycheck. You guys saw that group bonus, and I'm not going to risk it here at $366,000. I am very happy with the haul here. I promise you the next videos are going to be a little bit different. I do start talking and sort of narrating real time what is happening. I'm not a big fan of how this video ended up coming out, but you know, it is what it is, and I promise to deliver, so here it is. Hopefully it gets at least 10 views, and if you are one of the 10 that are watching this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep coming back as I work my way to $1 million, and until next time, long live the Zanies.